Hello everybody, good afternoon, welcome to That's Football. We're live for Chelsea against Fulham in the Premier League Watchalong. Hope you're all doing very well. Big weekend in the Premier League. Obviously it's Liverpool against Arsenal tomorrow. We'll be live for that. Man United against Burnley. I'll be over on the United stand for that straight after this. So yeah, how are we all feeling? I mean, Chelsea, Fulham. The posh London derby. I can't remember whether it's West London derby or whatever, but look, it is a derby. It's a posh people derby, yeah, you know. And but more importantly, I think Chelsea, having not beat Crystal Palace on the opening day, drawing there, very impressive against West Ham. 3 London clubs to start off with Chelsea. Some people feel that they had an easier start to the season than a Man City, a Liverpool and an Arsenal, but they've had 3 London clubs. They need to win today, really. They can't be dropping points at home. And Fulham, as we know, are the quintessential Premier League side. So let me know your thoughts on the team news and the way that you think this game will pan out. We'll get a little bit of a poll going in a minute. Busy. No Cole Palmer. He's not in the England squad as well. Maybe we'll talk about the England squad. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? At the end of the day, it is what it is. But we'll start off with the Chelsea lineup. 6-0 to Chelsea. Actually, before I start with the Chelsea lineup, let me just get the poll going. Result. We go Chelsea win. Draw. Did you enjoy the Bundesliga last night? I bloody loved it. The crowds. I just love the atmosphere. Love it. I'm absolutely converted to the Bundesliga. I love it. I've just got to find the teams I like. I think I like St. Pauli. Definitely like Frankfurt. The goals are always good as well. Really enjoyed it, yeah. But anyway, this is Premier League, so let me go through the Chelsea lineup. You can vote for the result. Sanchez, Gusto, Chalobah, Tosin, Cucurella, Caicedo, Fernandes, João Pedro, Estevao, Neto, Delap. So Pedro playing a little bit deeper, which he did at Brighton, and he can do that. So that's good for Delap to start. I really am excited to see Estevao. Very, very good. Obviously, Chelsea fans, talk to me about Garnacho. You've got him coming. I can talk to you about that as well. The bench is looking good. Gittins, Fofana, Reece James, some good players on the bench for them. For Fulham, Leno, Tete, Anderson, Bassi, Sessegnon, Lukic, Berg, King, Castagne, Iwobi, and Muniz. Interestingly, Anthony Robinson on the bench again. He did come off the bench against United, but obviously isn't quite ready to start games yet, which is a big blow for Fulham because he was their best player last season. Man United played Fulham last week. I think we could have been 1 or 2-0 up by half-time, really. I fancy Chelsea to win this one. Obviously, we said that in win, lose or draw. I think we both said a Chelsea win, me and Robbie. And I do fancy them to win. I think Chelsea this season, they need to accumulate points now so that when the Champions League kicks in, they're in a better situation. Because I think that's where the Chelsea squad, we all know Chelsea are young. They're trying to build a dynasty, but it's a young side. And I was just looking at their fixtures. So they come back from the international break. They play Brentford away, then they go Bayern Munich, then they play Man United away. So they've got 3 games in a row away when they come back from the international break. Benfica, sandwiches, Brighton, and Liverpool for them. So I think when the Champions League kicks in, that's when it's going to get very interesting for Chelsea as to whether their squad can deal with it. Obviously, they've got Barcelona on the 25th of November before they play before they play Arsenal. So look, they've got some very interesting games this season, Chelsea, and I'm intrigued to see how they're going to get on. Have they got no? Oh yeah, Atalanta in December, and then January they've got 2 more against Napoli and Paphos. So I mean, I fancy all English clubs to do very well in the Champions League. So I think that'd be very, very good. NT says your VPN is still on. Yeah, basically we are a channel now that has VPN blocker on it because of our Bundesliga rights. So turn it off. I mean, we're not restricted. So if you've got a VPN on and you want to watch That's Football, just turn it off. Mark, why wasn't there a global version of the Bundesliga watch-along? Just no live footage. Keep up the good work. I'm glad you asked me that, Ados. I'm glad you asked me that because we are a community and I messed up last night. We are going to do the live footage with the England and Ireland rights stream, and we will do a non-live footage watch-along like this. Like we did for Bayern against Leipzig. But what happened last night is, and you won't know this unless you watch the English one, was that we only went live about 2 minutes before kickoff because I had a problem sorting out a couple of things, which meant I didn't have time to do the other one. So that's on me, and we normally will have one. So we're back after the international break. 2 weeks last night, Frankfurt against Leverkusen, and we will have the dual stream for that. Chelsea's April-May fixture run is horrendous, says Tanishk. Yeah, but I never worry about April or May because I think teams have, some teams have won the league by then. Some teams are in the top 4 by then. Some people are focusing on cups by then. Some people are on the beach. I think it's all about how you start the season, and I think that's why it's so important for Chelsea to win today. And I think they will. Let the banter begin, says Tom. Come on, you Blues. Esteban fire today, says Epic. Well, it's, I always like watching Chelsea to see Cole Palmer. Obviously, we're not going to see him. But it's interesting to watch Estevao today. Garnacho's apparently in the crowd. Let me just say this before the game starts. I'm going to be really even-handed on this. I can't lie because the clips are out there. Man United fans don't like this, even when I used to say it, because he was a divider anyway. He's not a divider anymore. United fans can't stand him. And we can't stand him because, for whatever reason, maybe because he's immature, he behaves like Ronaldo, and he's nothing like Ronaldo. And he actually behaves worse than Ronaldo. Like, in the sense that he's ridiculously up his own arse, privileged, and disrespectful, and moody. And I guarantee you he'll kiss that Chelsea badge as quick as he can. Because that's what he'll do. He'll play on getting the Chelsea fans on side. I don't think Chelsea have got a problem with Garnacho until it goes wrong. And then it's about whether he's grown up. If it all goes right, I believe he is a fantastic player with fantastic talent. And I'm never going to change my mind on that. I think he's got fantastic ability with a fantastic talent. He never gets injured. You can't accuse him of never being available. So they're all positives. I was a big fan of Garnacho at Man United until this summer. And feel a bit, betrayed in a sense because I backed him publicly for a very long time, even though a lot of people told me not to. I don't want him to do well at Chelsea. I've got nothing against Chelsea. I just think he's shat all over our club. And that's a Man United angle. From a Chelsea angle, if he grows up and he performs to his ability, you could have a very good player for £40 million. And that's my stance on it. What about Jackson to Bayern for 15 million? Loan deal. It's a scam, says Shane. Well, Bayern Munich with Nicholas Jackson will be very interesting. They wanted Waldemada, who's gone from Stuttgart to Newcastle. They've ended up with Nicholas Jackson. I rest my case. They could have had a really exciting young German striker to supplement Harry Kane, and they've now got Nicholas Jackson. The reality is, though, Shane, I don't actually rate Vincent Kompany based on what he did in the Premier League. But then he goes to Bayern Munich and he's doing fantastically well. Sometimes a player in a certain team can look, not that good, or a manager. But then you go to a different system and a different scenario. Nicholas Jackson's big issue is his consistency in scoring goals. He will get opportunities at Bayern Munich. I wouldn't be surprised if he scored goals. I mean, Chelsea fans, when they were trying to sell him, always said his stats stand up quite well for assists and goals. So, look, he's going to be a backup striker, isn't he? And I think when you're Bayern Munich, it's not like he's going up front to play for Newcastle, where I think he would have flopped. Mark, I've done that one from A Dots. Thank you very much. So, yeah, we're getting very close to the kickoff here. We are live straight after with a Man United Burnley 3 o'clock game. So, thank you very much for that. Sorry, I'm just being asked something here. Right. If a YouTube channel can block your VPN, it's more proof that the advertisement for VPN is just selling lies because they never work for your regional restricted content. Love your content, hate VPN, says Vlad. Thank you very much. Look, you know what? On that topic, we've got live Bundesliga rights on this channel. There are people who have live Bundesliga rights in different regions and pay substantial money for it. So I get it. I get it. I understand why it's there. But I also get the frustrations of those sort of things. I mean, look, In some countries, as we've said before, you can pay a subscription and get every single Premier League game. In the UK, we can pay for 3 different subscriptions and not get every Premier League game. So it's that. Stephen's laughing, saying you'll never get EPL rights. Must be bad being you, Stephen, really. It must be really sad. I always think that hate is actually a reflection in the mirror. So it must be sad to be you, Stephen. I pity you, really. Anyway, we're about to start the game here. João Pedro will do it. The time is ready to go. I hope you are as well. 75% of you going with a Chelsea win. I must just say, on the Bundesliga watch-along last night, 70% went with a home win as well for Hamburg. They lost 2-0. This is the Premier League, and we know things can happen. From Kane's finishing to Jackson, says Weekend Bus. Thank you very much for that. So, yeah, I mean, look, the transfer window is going to be very interesting, isn't it? 2.5 days left. Do you think your team has done enough? Certainly as a Man United fan, absolutely not. I mean, the Mainu thing is ridiculous. I hope he's going to be in the team. We'll have the team news during this stream, of course. Countdown to kickoffs on the United stand. It starts in half an hour. So, yeah, I think it's very, very interesting how things could pan out. With Man United and many other clubs, but I still expect Liverpool to sign Isak. I think Arsenal are probably done now. Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea are ever done. I don't think Man City are done yet. I don't think Spurs are done yet. I don't think Villa are done yet. I think we're going to see a lot of spending in the next 2.5 days. And remember, this has been the biggest transfer window in Premier League history. I was talking about this on the United stand this morning. Sorry, let me just go. The last 2 summer transfer windows haven't been particularly good, in my opinion. And then this summer, we've broken the all-time spend record. So why do you think that is? I know for a fact the last 2 summer transfer windows, people were saying clubs don't want to spend any more money anymore because of FFP. And I really thought there was a running theme. And then this summer, we break the record. So, you know, it is interesting in that aspect. Liam Delap fighting hard there, but I think he's given up a free kick. I just think that there is so much money in football now that from the Champions League, and it's so competitive to get in the Champions League that the big clubs are spending. I mean, it might not necessarily be the case with the smaller clubs. I mean, Fulham have done next to no business, have they? Go on wide right. That should have gone wide right ages ago. What a shit ball that was. I tell you what, I cannot stand that. He looked at the pass. And then he took ages to play the pass. Fulham could have been in there. Yeah. Sorry, I've just lost my live chat here. There it is. Top Bundesliga CDM, Isak. Says Jeremy. Would you still pick Agate ahead of Berg? Says Halford. Yes. It's hard to, you know, it's the road less travelled, isn't it? Because we live in a world where we shit on people. But I would, yeah. But I appreciate that not a lot of people are going to agree with me on that one. Fulham are a good side. I think whenever you're playing one of the top 6 away from home, it's about settling in, slowing the game down, getting through the first 20 minutes and frustrating. And the half-12 games many times are don't deliver. So we'd nice to see an early goal, I think. Oh, shot there from, I think it was João Pedro. Easy save for the keeper. He's been a good signing. Nicholas Walker says, this is one for the chat. Right, I'm going to close the poll there because we might get a few either ors. 75% going with the Chelsea win, 15% going with a draw, and 10% going with the Fulham win. Nicholas Walker's given us a super chat and he says, best signing so far, he's going to go with Paulinho to Spurs. Sir J.K. Worthing with a super chat says, quietly confident for a Fulham win based on nothing but a feeling, up the Cottagers, no signings, no problem. Well, I mean, Fulham have got 2 points, haven't they? 2 draws. So I always think that's a weird one when you draw 3 games and you get 3 points when you could have got the same for losing 2 and winning 1, isn't it? Those are the rules. Good cutback. Delap, this should be a goal. Good block. Good block. I mean, in that position for a striker, it's Sander Berg, funnily enough, who gets the block. From that position, Delap, he's in the box. He's looking at most of the goal. He's got to put that in the bottom corner for me. He's got so much to aim at, and he hits it straight at Sander Berg. He's gone for the top corner near post, hasn't he? But low, like Liverpool. You notice how so many, we've said this before, Liverpool shoot low all the time. He's got a powerful shot though, Mark, says Tab. Yeah, so J.K. Worthing, let's remember that. He's quietly confident of a Fulham win. Steve says the flop. He can't be a flop already. Nearly 10,000 watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to That's Football. Get involved. Loads going on here at the moment with live watch-alongs. Obviously got Arsenal at Liverpool tomorrow. At Liverpool. All the Bundesliga stuff. Premier League. Transfer stuff. It's going to be a busy few days for sure. And yes, somebody did say earlier, we're only 10 subscribers away from 414,000, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Somebody did say, do you think Liverpool will get Isak? Well, am I right in saying that Wizzer's not playing for Brentford? Shoot, mate, come on, play him in. Play him in. Oh, that's a terrible ball. Shoot, for God's sake. Oh, get out, Anderson. Get out. Why are Fulham so slow with the final pass there? Is it just me seeing that? That was a great chance. Took too long with the pass. Look, it does really well here, Anderson. That pass has got to go now. Takes a touch. Too long. They're all on the back post as well. If he'd have played that pass earlier, they're queuing up on the back post. That's the centre-back, though. Conrad Harder, striker from Sporting, going to Leipzig, says Bisson. I thought he was going somewhere else. Could you buy Sheffield Wednesday, says Penelope. How much? As I say before, Fulham, the quintessential Premier League side. They can give everybody a game, and they can lose every game. There he is, Garnacho. Look at him. On his phone, looking at social media. There's a fucking game on, mate. He's such a knobhead. He's such a knobhead. There's a bloody game going on and he's sat on his fucking phone. I'm so glad we've got rid of him. What a knob. That caught in 4K. Welcome to Chelsea. That's exactly what you're getting, mate. That's him. That's Garnacho in 4 seconds. Absolutely perfect. Sky couldn't have captured exactly what he's doing there. Somebody in the chat just said, "What's wrong with that?" Well, probably nothing. If you're 20, if you're more my age, there's a game of football on. I don't even support Chelsea or Fulham, and I'm watching it. He's just signed for Chelsea. The game is actually being played, and he's sat there. His head's not coming up for 10 minutes. You know it's not. Oh, Prod says Garnacho's just looking for hate comments on Twitter so his brother can talk bollocks. I remember when it was either Sander Berg or Ugarte to United. Do you think we missed a tricks as pure turnip? I don't think United were ever genuinely in for it, really. few people saying, nothing wrong with being sat on your phone at a Premier League game. If you want to do that, you're probably the same as every time I go, and I'm trying to watch a game, and all I can see is people doing this with their phone. And then posting it for the next 5 minutes because the internet's crap. And I think you're meant to be at a game of football. I'd ban phones at football matches, to be honest. Dictator Bridge. I don't go on my phone when I'm at a football match. Nick P says, to be fair, Garnacho's not there to watch the game. He's there to be watched. He had a haircut and everything for his big day of being seen. And he missed it, mate, because he's on his phone. As I say, I think I can speak for every Man United fan when I say we wish him all the best. Good turn by João Pedro. Cross coming in. It's got lots of space. Neto, it's going to be too high. It's going to go for a goal kick. I've just thought something. Seb's got some Skittles. I need a sugar rush. They'll all be gone if I don't. I haven't had him in ages. We went down the shop and he bought some Skittles and I said, I'm going to try some of these on stream. I haven't had Skittles for ages. He loves them. So I said, I'm going to get some. Instantly give me a headache. I remember them as a kid. Super Donut says, you're never at a football match. Hilarious. I go to loads of football matches, mate. I just don't go to Man United matches very often, because I normally have 100,000 people watching. So, you know, it's quite a big deal. So I could selfishly go and watch matches, or I could do live streams with hundreds of thousands of people watching, you know, for the biggest football community in the world. You make your choice, I'll make mine. Delap's gone down injured here. Oh, hamstring. Not good. I forgot about Skittles as well. They make your saliva go to treacle, don't they? Hamstring for Delap. That's a hamstring, 100%. That's a month. You're not going to play on with that. I prefer jelly babies. What's your favourite sweets? So I think Gittins will come on and Pedro will go up front. Don't talk to me about the Club World Cup. Don't say Club World Cup. Chelsea played in the Club World Cup. Their players are dropping like flies. Is there a correlation? So J.K. Worthing, on Fulham winning, that feeling might have been a dodgy curry instead. What would you change if you were a Premier League dictator, says Forms. I'd change the officiating. It's 2 stop-starts and it's shit. Mohammed says, BN Sports pre-match studio described the transfer as £40 million for a bad apple. Pretty good deal. Bit of a blow that for Chelsea. I like fruit pastels, Elaine. I do like fruit pastels. I ain't going to lie. I like fruit pastels. What do you think about United against Burnley? I'm genuinely not trying to think about it too much because it's a must-win game. There's going to be so many people hoping that we lose. And Obviously, I hope we don't lose, but it could be, you know, it's either going to ruin my weekend or I get away with it. There's a lot of clips out there if we do. Newcastle beating Leeds today, says Jordan. I've gone with an away win. Looking at the fixtures today, well, if you didn't watch Win, Lose or Draw, where I take on Robbie every week, we're level after 2 weeks. Can't believe I won last week. I thought I'd won the first week, he beat me. I thought I'd lost last week, I beat him. So it just shows you never know. Yeah, I've got Newcastle to beat Leeds away from home. Man United to beat Burnley. Spurs will beat Bournemouth. I think I've gone Sunderland at home to Brentford, but I think Robbie went with a draw, didn't he? No, we both went Sunderland. Wolves, Everton. I went draw, he went Wolves. That's a risk. That's a bloody risk. But he's gone draw, Arsenal, Liverpool. I've gone Arsenal win. Apparently, they haven't won at Anfield in bloody years, so that's a stupid thing to do. Garfield says 50 swans or one human-sized swan to fight. Yeah, 50 swans. Good afternoon, Mark. How are you? Says Davey. I'm good. Fulham on the attack here. Bit of a blow for Chelsea early on. Fulham closing in on that magic first 20 minutes away from home where he can keep that clean sheet and grow in confidence. M&S make good sweets altogether, Lawrence. I like the M&S wine gums. They're very good. In fact, I would argue that M&S wine gums are better than Maynard's. Controversial, but I've not had a bag for ages, but they used to be very nice. Really used to like them. I don't eat sweets much anymore because as a man of my age, you do have to be careful about, you know, diabetes and stuff like that. I used to eat a lot of sweets when I was a kid. I can't complain about not eating them much now. I like M&S food, but we haven't really got one that local to us anymore because they closed the one down in the city centre. But some people go there and do their shopping. It's a treat, M&S. I would never do my weekly shop there. So Delap's gone off with a hamstring injury. Obviously, Cole Palmer went off before the West Ham game a week ago. Both those injuries look like it's going to be a bit of a while. I don't know that Delap's a massive loss for Chelsea. Cole Palmer is. Will Fulham feel that they can grow into the game? They've got an opportunity to whip a cross in here. Apparently, they've got the fewest goal from set pieces in the Premier League. That's why. Shit cross. Have you tried strawberry and cream sandwich at M&S, says Liam? Oh, I've seen some right weird sandwiches. I saw a Tesco meal deal sandwich that was basically a crunchy in a sandwich. It looked like someone had eaten sweet corn and took a shit in a sandwich. It was disgusting. I'm not so sure about... I don't mind like a Victoria sponge, but I don't really want to put... I don't like jam sandwiches, but I do like jam. They do a birthday cake sandwich as well. People are always looking to push the envelope. I remember green Coca-Cola. Anyone remember that? Green Coca-Cola? What was the point in that? It used to be like Panda Pop. Fizzy drinks. I bet you can't buy it now because it was probably full of all sorts. But it used to be green Coca-Cola. 3 swan-sized T-Rex or 1 T-Rex-sized swan? 1 T-Rex-sized swan. I just grab it by the neck, swing it around my head and throw it in a pond. And it won't be able to swim with its silly little arms. And I'll laugh at it going, oh, look, you're the same size as a swan, but you can't swim one at one. Have it. Would I throw in a rubber ring? Probably bite it and pop. Why waste the rubber ring? Then it will just become a piece of plastic in the river that a real swan might get wrapped up in and choke on. So no, I wouldn't. I don't know why my brain works like that. It just does. Fulham on the attack here. Iwobi's going to shoot. Rubbish. Keep a dive, but there's not enough power on that. Nude says, I remember clear ketchup. Right, I want to get more of these today. Give me some of the... I've said green Coca-Cola as a starter for 10. People are always looking to push the envelope. What are things that people have tried that never work? Well, Coca-Cola, tab clear. Who remembers that? some of you young folk are going to go, what is he talking about? But Tab Clear was basically, looked like lemonade, but it was Coca-Cola. I remember chocolate cigarettes, Mark. You'd never get away with that now. I mean, look, if you didn't watch the stream last night, we did Hamburg against St. Pauli. Oh my God, the atmosphere. And it's the same at every Bundesliga game. The atmosphere was incredible. Behind the goal, before St. Pauli scored, the Hamburg fans, all loads of flags, flares, just incredible. I mean, look at the crowd here. No disrespect to Chelsea, but this is like, a German fan would look at this and go, it's like a bloody morgue. There's no atmosphere here at all. You know, if you watch that last night and then you look at the crowd here and it was the same at Old Trafford, it's just unbelievable, the contrast. But you're not allowed to take a flare. You wouldn't be able to do a flag. So in fairness, it's not necessarily the fans' fault. One, we don't have memberships where you can half own the club, which makes you feel closer to the club. Two, you'd never be allowed to put a flag up, and you definitely can't put a flare up. And we don't have safe standing as much as they do. You know, woke UK or whatever you want to call it, political correctness UK. Sit down, don't bring a flag in, don't over celebrate, and watch the commercials. And buy £120 shirts. Lovely ball. Go on. He's through one-on-one. You've got to score, mate. You've got to score. He's not going to score. He's not going to score. He has scored. 1-0 to Fulham. Well done. Well done. He's loving it. He's loving it. I think who scored that? Who has scored that? It's not Sessegnon. Lovely goal for Fulham. He's done really well. I think is it King? Is it King? It's King. He's the king of the King's Road. I think they play at the King's Road. And Chelsea's high line got caught out. Big time. He did really well because the defender has kept up with him. And instead of carrying on and shooting, he had composure. And there's another injury for Chelsea here. Chalobah as well, as he's trying to win a free kick in the build-up. But 1-0 to Fulham. J.K. Worthing, you might be onto something. He goes into a 50-50. I don't think that's a foul. It might get pulled up for a foul. It might get pulled up for a foul. I think it's harsh if it's a foul because he's on the ball. Chelsea fans are going to quite rightly say it should be a foul, but I think in that situation, you're never going to get a foul for that in foreign leagues. But in the Premier, you just never know. It's a lovely finish. I don't think it's a foul. Is that a foul on Chalobah? I'm going to run a poll here. Really good goal. Yes or no? Do you think that's a foul on Chalobah? VAR will definitely look at it. We're in the Premier League. They have to look at bloody everything. Yeah, he's going to VAR. He's gonna overrule this. It's gonna get disallowed, says Lukey boy. 100%. I don't think it's a foul. I think he wins the ball. I think he wins the ball first, and his natural body goes into him. I don't think that's a foul. No, he wins the ball and accidentally stands on the player. That's not a foul. That's not a foul. Come on. That is not a foul. That's just part of the game. It's going to hurt Chalobah. You can't overrule that. He's gonna overrule it. He's gonna overrule it because it's at Stamford Bridge. That is not a foul. It's harsh on Chalobah and it does hurt, but that's not a foul. He can't even see where he's putting his foot. So how is it a foul? He's already controlled the ball. He plants his foot on the floor and it goes on the player. You can get hurt in a game of football. Fucking disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'm outraged by that. That is absolutely disgusting. This fucking game in the Premier League, I tell you what, I'm glad I watched the Bundesliga because this is fucking rubbish. This league is in the fucking mud. It's disgusting. Every year it gets worse. It's not a careless challenge. He doesn't even see Chalobah. He's just controlling the ball. Yes, he treads on his foot. That doesn't mean it's a foul. It's not a foul if you accidentally tread on someone's foot. That's ridiculous. We've basically created a monster in the Premier League where if anybody goes down hurt, it has to be a foul. So, you know what? If there's a 50-50 ball on the line and I slide in and I kick it in and as I keep sliding, I go into the goalkeeper, is that getting disallowed? Why? Why is it getting disallowed? I slide in for the ball, I get there first, and as I slide on, I accidentally collide with the keeper and he hurts his knee. How's that a foul? How is that a foul? It's ridiculous. Absolutely disgusting. I'm so fed up of the officiating in this country. And you know what? We reap what we sow. Fair play to Chelsea. I'd want it if I was a Man United fan, but you know you've got away with it. So basically what we're saying is if you get hurt on a football pitch, it must be a foul. Absolute nonsense. Just because you get hurt doesn't mean it's a foul. And is Chalobah come off with a broken foot? Has he fuck? I bet he's running around playing centre-back. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Well, 80% say it's not a foul. You know what? I'm just going to move on. Every year, every week, every year, the PGMOL are at it. Just going to move on. There's just no point. There's no point. VR destroying the league, says Bear Merchant. You know what? We've only done 2 games in the Bundesliga, and the refereeing is so much better. The game flows. It's not stop-start. It'd be half time in the Bundesliga now. That would not have been a foul either. It's just the officiating in this country is absolutely shit. I can't even look at the screen at the moment. This referee is a fucking dick. You are a dickhead, mate. Oh, get yourself down the gym with your tight top. You're a dickhead, mate. You are shit at your job. Stood there smiling with Chelsea fans. Bottle job. Bottle job. I tell you what, if that was at Fulham, I reckon he would have given it. You know this old microphone bollocks? He ain't going to stand there in front of 40,000 Chelsea fans and say it's not a goal. It's a goal, is he? Absolute idiots. There they are with the bloody ref cams and let's speak to the people at half time and let's tell them our decisions. It makes them even more corrupt. Makes them even more corrupt. I'm not getting into arguments with Chelsea fans because I get the blue tinted glasses. If this happens to United this afternoon, I will say definitely a foul. Chelsea fans, you're irrelevant. Because you are totally locked into what I would do if it was Man United. Absolutely, 100% it's a foul. Your opinion means nothing. Because when Liverpool had the offside, goal, the onside goal against Spurs, Spurs fans said it was offside because you're always going to go with the thing that benefits your team. Well done, I'd do it the same. Not interested in Chelsea fans because you will back VAR. And in a couple of weeks, you'll be on the end of it and you'll be going, oh, everybody else agree with us, agree with us. I understand that Chelsea fans are going to say, you know, it's a foul. I get that. I would do that as a United fan. But everybody else knows it's a load of bollocks. Everybody else can use their eyes. Apparently we've got a here we go. Let's have a quick look. Rasmus to Napoli, here we go. Verbal agreement done between all parties. Loan deal. Loan deal for €6 million with buy option to become mandatory under certain conditions. Medical in the next 24 hours. So, look, that's more money coming into the club. Let's hope we go and spend it. Ref called it a reckless challenge. What a gobshite, says Connor. Mate, I don't know. To be reckless, I've got to be making a challenge. I mean, so basically, I see the ball. I turn my back on someone, I control it, and then I have to plant my other foot, and it goes onto a footballer's foot. There's big chance for Fulham there. It should have been 1-0, and they deserve to be 1-0 up. I think it was offside. I can't make a reckless challenge if I'm not making a challenge. How can I be making a reckless challenge when I'm controlling the ball? I'm literally controlling the ball, and I stand somewhere I can't see, and I'm making a reckless challenge. Jan-Arg Fjortoft has apparently said that Liverpool and Newcastle have agreed a £130 million fee for Alexander Isak. It's all going on. Goal ruled out because Fulham played football, says Blake. Fulham head injury in the box, penalty, says Connor. 10 years ago, that would have been a goal that announced a young Josh King to the world. Now it's lost in history. It's crazy, says Nick P. Yeah, we're taking moments away from football again to give it to shit officials. He's only 18 years of age as well, Joshua King. Would have been a great moment for him in a big game. Oh, careful, Sanderberg. You might get sent off for kicking Pedro in the head on purpose. Stop showing me this bloody referee. Trying to figure something out here. We've not got the score up. It's 0-0. But I'm just trying to figure out why I haven't got it. Where the fuck is it? Whoa! We don't want that up. Oh, here we go. That's what it should be. That's what it should be. I'm going to keep it there. I'm taking a stand for justice. It's 1-0 to Fulham. Slow motion replay should be banned on VAR. This is a great point from Curtis as well. No incoming, only outgoing. Something is better, says Sanjit. Desmond, thank you very much for your super sticker. Wouldn't want that as a foul as a United fan because it's not a foul and it ruins the game, says Ethan. Hey, mate, to be fair, Villa should have scored against us in the final game of the season. So there's your bias. That was a goal. Didn't get given. Sorry, the PGMOL score is 0-0. The real score is 1-0 to Fulham. Cheats. Goal rolled out because Fulham played football, says Blake. Look at the stop-start. He just lost control of the game, hasn't he? Look, right, this is the big thing. Forget the goal, right? What is it about the PGMOL that don't understand letting the game flow makes the Premier League more attractive? What is it they don't understand about that? Why are they not taught to try and let the game flow? Why do they stop the game all the time? Because they're narcissists. They want the cameras on them. Any opportunity to blow their whistle, they're there going, get the cameras on me. Why have we got so many narcissistic referees in the Premier League? Is it because they're run by a narcissist? The Premier League is so slow. It's quick when we play, but they start it so much. So why the watch-alongs work so well? Because we can talk about our favourite sweets because we know most of the match we're going to have downtime. They're in the bloody camera. Look at Todd Bowley now. Even the cameraman knows he can go to the crowd about 1 million times and not miss anything because it's so stop-start. You know, the Premier League is not like other leagues. They don't stop and start it as much as this in other leagues. It's getting worse. Let the game flow. It's so much better. He's done it again. Just let it flow. Fucking hell. I want to watch football, not that ref's haircut. Is it? I tell you what. The highlights of the first half, I guarantee the referees. And this is serious. I bet if you took the person who's been on camera the most at half time, it'll be the referee by a bloody mile. Redback Spider says that ref's got more muscles than a juiced up racehorse. You can imagine him all week, can't you? Pumping iron going, yes, 12:30 on Saturday. I'm definitely getting on the mic. Get me on the mic. Put more weights on. Get me a protein shake. I'm on Saturday. Come on. Put more on. Saturday lunchtime, it's all about me. Put more on. I'm the Rock. Can you smell what the ref is cooking? I bet that's what he's doing all week. What do they call it? What do they call it when somebody wants to be the centre of attention? Don't say Mark Goldbridge. The worst thing we've done is given these referees a voice on the pitch. It gives them a personality when they should be silent and doing their job. I also think, Nick, it's a stupid idea because they will shit themselves doing it in front of a home crowd. Anyway, 10 minutes to go to half time. We've basically hardly seen any of this game. I'm not changing the score because I'm doing it for justice. It's 0-0 really, but we're making a stand here against the PGMOL. Nice ball. Go on. Just going to go for a goal kick. Why am I so thick? I just realised something. Took me 18 months to figure this out. What a twat. When's the Man United team news out? Quarter to 1. Quarter to 2. Do you think Man United are going to win today? Yeah. It's not worth thinking about anything else, is it? Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Do you think Mainu will start? I hope so. But at the end of the day, he has said 3 times in the last 48 hours that he wants to leave. So I don't know. I don't know. Thanks for all your super chats, by the way. 77% of you said it was a goal for Fulham. And I'm going to end that poll now. Chelsea have really struggled though, haven't they? No Cole Palmer. Delap going off with a hamstring injury. Another soft foul. Look, he can't. He blows his whistle more than a bloody train conductor. don't see it. I just don't see a foul there. Play on. And you know what, though? Players, because of this stop-start nature in the Premier League, players become wise to it and know you just take a little tumble and you win a free kick. So it makes the game worse because obviously if you're a footballer and you know that the referees are going to stop-start the game as on a frequency, just knock the ball into my feet near the edge of the box, I'll take a tumble, it's a free kick. It's ruining the game. Ruining the game. It's a good cross by Chelsea, but Leno's a good keeper. It would be justice if Fulham could get ahead, but I don't know. You do feel like, I'm sure Fulham fans feel like that's going to be difficult. A very equal game. To be honest, I think the goal would have been good for the game. I think it would have been good for Chelsea in a weird sort of way. Sorry, I lost the live chat there, went quiet. Chelsea on the attack with Neto. Not seen much of Esteval, have we? I was actually looking forward to seeing him, but corner for Chelsea. This might be one of the better chances to get into the game. Would you take Jose back at United, says Vicky? Actually, I wouldn't. I'd love to see Jose at West Ham or at Forest. I'd love to see that, but I wouldn't take him back at United, no. I think it would be harsh. Over the bar. I said there'd be a threat from corners. Right in on the keeper, and it's just gone over the bar for Chelsea. These corners are, these are very consistent in the Premier League, aren't they? Put it in on the keeper and it seems to cause all sorts of trouble these days. Hi, Mark. Obviously, Onana isn't good, but would you argue there is a solid keeper drought similar to the number 9 one we have seen? Luke? Run, Luke. Run. Obviously, Onana isn't good, but would you argue that there is a solid keeper drought similar to the number 9 we have seen? I don't know what that means. Would you take Zanderberg at United, says Emperor? As a whole, I don't know whether to play him in the midfield too. I think you do need... Dan Edwards says, as a Brighton fan, Mark, for this season. I don't know what that means. Give us a studio tour. It's the balance between the spirit of the game and rigid rules. Tarkowski had his hands behind his back and that was a handball, says Dance. And if it's a foul, why not give a yellow card, says Desmond. Exactly. The ref's bottled that, I reckon. VAR's not helped him out. Please make an unofficial Premier League table accounting for bad refereeing or compile all call refs and inconsistency, says Ben. Yeah, but you'd lose track, mate, because there's so many bad decisions, isn't there? Rub says, I'm a Chelsea fan and I think Fulham got robbed. Ref's blowing his whistle like he's practicing for a marching band, says Ryan. And Desmond said if it's a foul, why no yellow? Look, we're nearly at half time. We can revisit it then, but, you know, it's not good. Mark as a Brighton? I don't know what you're talking about there. Come on, Fulham. Get the goal you deserve. Surprised he didn't give a foul there for a pass. Now he's going to play on. Esteval. Good skill. This is what we want to see. Into the box. Individualism. Oh, couldn't get the cross. On the referee again. Cameraman loves the ref. Or maybe it's a camera woman. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Chelsea are playing that high line, aren't they? Sergeant Barnes, thanks for the super chat. Looks like VAR sponsored by Specsavers, says Ryan. I think the problem is, look, the referee's bottled it and he has to take responsibility for what he's done. Of course he does. But on the other hand, why is VAR getting involved in that? Cross the back post. Good header. Eight minutes added on. Bloody hell. We're back doing that shit again as well, aren't we? 8 minutes added on. Mark's just stressed because of Burnley. Well, you know what? You'd be bloody stressed about Burnley as well. I've seen it so many times. We don't do the standard easy win at home. We just don't. I'd love to say it'll be 3-0 to Man United. Do you think Simons will do good in the Prem? I think he will, yeah. The Premier League is... the Bundesliga is quite similar to the Premier League. And good defending there by Gusto. Yeah, and I think he will do well. Good breakaway by Chelsea here. Started to come into the game a little bit more, Chelsea, in the last few minutes. Get Esteval on the ball. Fix the score. No, that's the real score. If we had proper officiating in this country, it'd be 1-0 to Fulham. That's the justice score. I'm not changing it. Yeah, but as I was saying, we've seen it a lot in this game. When the referees are blowing up all the time, the players become more attuned to it and start diving for it a lot more. I don't see why we should adhere to PGMOL rules just because they're a dictatorship and they think they're in charge. Not here. The fans are speaking. 80% said it should have been a goal. I'm just going with the fans. Sorry to the 20% who disagree, but that's what democracy is. We're not run by the Premier League. We're run by the fans, and it's 1-0 to Fulham. There's no justifiable reason not to give that goal, in my opinion, and a lot of you obviously agree. So there we go. Just looking at some rumours here about. I'm very interested to see whether Mainu starts and whether Šeško starts and who starts in goal for United today. Indeed. 8 minutes added on here. Get the rest from the Bundesliga, says George. Well, the thing is, you can. You can. We bring in bloody German players into the Bundesliga. I don't know why we can't bring some of the good refs in. But the problem is, you bring a good referee into the Premier League, and then old Howard Webb and co. will tell him, why are you doing that? What are you doing that for? So J.K. Worthing's fuming. Says, bullshit. Would you take Donnarumma at United? I mean, Roberts. 100%. That's like saying, do you want to go to work Do you want to ride 5 miles to work on a a bike that's got a flat tyre, or do you want to go to work in a Ferrari? Lovely ball. Cut it back, cut it back! Good defending. Good defending there by Caicedo. What a tackle. What a block by Caicedo. That's a goal block, that is. Probably would have said it was offside. You seen that guy at the US Open who stole the kid's cap? I've seen it a few times today. Has anyone seen that clip? So basically, let's see what happens with this corner for Fulham first. Still in there. Bit of a break for Chelsea. Gusto. They have got a break on here. They've got a 4v3. And they've messed it up. And now Chelsea could get countered themselves. But Fulham, that looked like a foul. Referee won't give it because they're in blue. Yeah, so basically, the tennis player was handing the hat back to the boy. And a grown man took it and stashed it in the bag. Disgusting. I can't watch it. It makes me so angry. It makes me so angry if you see it. So the tennis player is handing the cap back to the kid that I think he'd signed or something. And this grown man takes it off him and puts it in his bag. Society. Manners and respect are just values that you've got to have. Nick P says, I'm loving the amount of man-children in the chat who can't deal with seeing the wrong scoreline on the screen. It's a window into modern society. I've not noticed it, Nick. Really? I've not noticed people not being happy about it. Look, 80% said it was a goal. I'm just, you know, we're running our own officials service here on That's Football. We're changing football, and we're here for integrity and, you know, giving the game the focus and honesty it deserves, instead of this dictatorship rubbish from the PGMOL. Neto, lovely feet by Neto. Enzo goes wide. It's a wild shot from Chalobah, who miraculously is okay after that recklessly horrific challenge by, I say challenge, that recklessly horrific challenge on Chalobah that, you know, could have broken his ankle. He's running around absolutely fine, shooting from 30 yards. Speaking of players of the Bundesliga, are you keeping your eyes on any players there whom you think might be worth scouting to United, like Hugo Larsson says, Killen? Yeah, the man of the match last night for St. Pauli, I'm not saying he'll end up at Man United, Fujita, very, very good. And I like Nusa at Leipzig. There's loads there, though. I mean, look, people are talking about Stiller at Stuttgart. Frankfurt have got bloody loads. Charlie Ward says, lad, could you imagine this league with the officiating of the league about 20 years ago? I'd like it 5 years ago, mate. I think the PGMOL. Look, on the PGMOL, right, watch this corner for Chelsea first, because we're about to hit half-time. Great save by Leno on the back post, another corner. I mean, ref, you are now adding another minute on top of the 8. Like, we've had 9 minutes now. Just to focus on that. You know, he's now playing 9 minutes of added time. when he's already added 8. If Chelsea score from this, I think they probably will. And they have. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. He plays 9 minutes on top of the 8. That is just... I said they would score, and they have. Marco Silva's going mad. This game might... I'm glad we're doing a watch along so we can just talk about other stuff. It's absolutely shocking. They've been done twice here. I literally said Chelsea will score. He's played a minute on top of 8. That is why. What's your justification? You've added 8 minutes on top of 45 and you're still adding time on. It's just wrong, isn't it? It's really wrong. Fair play to Marco Silva for being so restrained. Good goal by Pedro. Look, if you're Chelsea, you take it. I've been watching United for years. We're shit. You take you take the wins. You take what you can get. But Bluck says I'm not a Fulham fan, but I'm absolutely disgusted. The thing is though, I've got a big game for United against Burnley coming up, and I just feel like it's just not fair ultimately. That's the thing. It's just not fair. It's not fair on the viewer. It's not fair on Fulham. As Chelsea, I get it. I feel Chelsea are a victim as well. What are you supposed to do? If you're getting given decisions, what are you supposed to do? Chelsea aren't the offender. It's got nothing to do with Chelsea. It's officiating, isn't it? If you benefit from it this week, you might not next week. Look at him pointing at the referee, telling him to go. Narcissist. Narcissist. So manager can't talk to the referees. They're going like that. Move away. Welcome to the Premier League, everybody. The manager can't go and speak to the referee at half-time. And look at the smug dickhead walking off, going like that. What have we got in this? What's happened to the Premier League? What dictatorship is being run? Who actually likes the PGMOL? So managers can't talk to them at half-time. They're free to ruin the game. And there is no accountability. Where's the regulation from the Premier League on this out-of-control organisation that's been doing this for years? Aston Villa still haven't had an apology for a decision that's cost them £100 million. They scored a legitimate goal at Old Trafford to go 1-0 up that would have got them Champions League football, and it was never even mentioned. No, never even spoken about. So I don't know. I'm lost at this point. I've done so many videos. We've had so many conversations. There's been so many rants. But we can't do anything. We are living in a dictatorship. We are the oppressed. There is nothing you can do. It's just going to keep happening game after game after game after game. I don't know what the answer is. The Premier League is the biggest commercial money-making machine in football. Is it the best league in the world? I don't think it is. I think it can afford the best players, but the actual product is deteriorating because it's a dictatorship. I'm going to stop with the score now because it is getting confusing. But Fulham have been robbed here. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Investigate this ref, says Prod. Oh, mate, he'll probably get called up to the World Cup. Anyway, story of the half, 1-0 to Chelsea. They've scored their goal a minute on top of 8 minutes. No justification for that at all. I don't think there was much justification for 8 minutes, let alone 9. Legitimate goal for Fulham, ruled out by VAR. And it's ruined the game. You know, if you're Chelsea, I get it. As I say, you're a victim as much as anybody else. You just got to take it. You just got to take it, haven't you? I can see the Chelsea fans in the chat giving it large, but it'll be you next week. That's why I said it was a goal for Villa against United, because obviously you want to go ha 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 Villa, but we've had so many of them ourselves. There's no win for any team back in the PGMOL if they give you something, because you will be the victim of it soon, and then everyone will go, we told you so. So fair play to Chelsea, they're 1-0 up. I'd take it as a United fan, but as an advert for the game, it's another absolute disgrace. And you know what? I've said this to you before. I'm free to say it. There's no issue with it. I've been threatened by the PGMOL before. And I'm also aware that the PGMOL meet on a fortnightly basis with all the broadcasters. There's a very close relationship. So that's how it's run in the UK. The PGMOL meet up with the broadcasters every 2 weeks. What do you think conversations go on there? Do you think those broadcasters are there to protect the PGMOL and that's why they don't talk about it much? Do you think the PGMOL say to those broadcasters, one of your presenters or pundits have been a bit harsh on us there, can you tone it down? Absolutely. Absolutely. So we are living in a dictatorship with the Premier League's officiating. It's a fact. Now, I'd love to see them try and come for us for saying that, because it is. And, you know, if you want to try and prove it's not, good luck. We are the victims. The teams are the victims. But there was a vote put forward by Wolves 12 months ago to turn VAR off, and everyone said no. So the clubs back VAR. I don't have any sympathy with the clubs, but the fans are the people that suffer. And I speak to so many people who say football's not what it was before. I can't stand the stop-start nature. It adds so many minutes on. The game stops. The flow dies. I mean, literally, you could have a brilliant 10 minutes in a Premier League game. You get a decision like that, and instead of Chelsea kicking off and getting on with the game, you have 5 minutes of a referee looking at it, telling it, and by the time they go again, everyone's got to start off again. I don't think, maybe some of you've never played the game, but when I used to play football, and I'm sure it's the same for you, if you're having a really good few minutes with your team and it stops for 5 minutes, it's almost like a restart, second half. And if you're having a bad 5 minutes and the referee stops it for 5 minutes, it's like a restart. You get over that pressure. And that's why the Premier League is becoming a tough watch at times, because we're killing the flow of it with this stop-start nature as well. So refs are tired of getting abused, so they make enemies of players, managers and fans. Make it make sense, says Charlie. The PGMOL strikes again, says Ty. The Messiah complex these refs have is unreal, says Joe. Ref wouldn't look out of place in an SS uniform, says Tom. Sack Howard Webb, says UK Red. I think he should have been sacked ages ago. I mean, sorry, but if you're running a restaurant and it's got loads of bad reviews and no one's turning up, you get sacked. Dictatorship. Cigarettes and alcohol or 20th century boy? Cigarettes and alcohol, John. The officiating is ruining the game, says Dougie. Why can't I watch with VPN on? Bit sus that, says Cheryl. The VPN thing on our channel is because we've got Bundesliga rights. So obviously they've put it on our channel because people were using VPNs to watch the English rights-only Bundesliga footage. So that's probably why it's there. Just want to say congratulations on the Bundesliga rights deal. It's a step in the right direction for football. Also, last week I've got to go Olsen for goal of the week. I agree with you, Samarito. I agree with you. I liked Olsen's goal the best. That's not a foul, you know. People are seeing him stand on his foot and going, it has to be a foul. It's not. It's genuinely not a foul. There is no attempt to foul him. There is no challenge. You are controlling the ball. You've got, to be honest, you've got to have played the game to know that's not a foul, because all he's done is controlled the ball and put his foot down. You know, Premier League centre saying Fulham number 9 commits a careless challenge and stands on the foot of the Chelsea defender. Therefore, we disallow the goal and we restart with the Chelsea free kick. It's not a challenge. It can't be a careless challenge if it's not a challenge. It's the line is Fulham player controls the ball and accidentally stands on Chalobah's foot. Now tell me where in the rules book it says if you accidentally stand on someone's foot, it's a foul. They've got it wrong again. But look at what happened in the opening game of the season. Ekatike is going to be one-on-one. The Bournemouth defender thinks he's playing volleyball. Not even a handball, not even a red card. So, yeah, it's just what it is, isn't it? Just what it is. unfortunately, I don't know what the answer is actually, because it gets you mad. It gets you frustrated. It really gets you angry. And if you try to defeat that by going, it is what it is, you lose the passion for the game. Dictatorship. That's all it is. In the US, they're ripping the ref apart. I've wanted both and think the US coverage is honestly better, says Meris. Ref is getting skewered on US TV, says Jarris. Hayden says, as an Arsenal fan, it's decisions like this that make me nervous for tomorrow's game. If they're scared of Stamford's reaction, what about Anfield? I think this is a great point as well, Hayden. As soon as he looks at the VAR, so the new rule is, when you go to VAR, you've then got to justify your decision. This is catastrophically idiotic. So if I'm a referee, and I'm at Anfield, and in the last minute, Arsenal score a goal like that, and VAR says you might want to look at it, I'm definitely not giving the goal. I'm not standing there in the 90th minute and saying, on review, he does tread on Van Dijk's foot, but it's not a reckless challenge because there's no intent there, it's accidental, therefore goal for Arsenal. No way! No way in a million years is a referee standing and doing that in the 90th minute at Anfield. No way. So why have we come up with this idea of letting referees speak their decision at partisan crowds? He's absolutely shit himself there at Stamford Bridge. And that's in the first half against Fulham. The people, you know what, I'd love to be, I would find a time in my diary to sit and advise them. And I'm sure you would as well. Because I'd have put my hand up when the dickheads are going, this would be a great idea. I'd say, hold on a minute then. This is a great idea. I'm a referee. I'm at Anfield, 90th minute, Arsenal score a goal. I get pulled over to VAR. I don't think VAR's right. And you want me to stand there in front of that crowd and say, that's a goal. Come on. What are you doing? As a Fulham fan, I look forward to games like these, says Ben Potter. Up the Chelsea, says Malaki. Chelsea fan, agree it's not a foul. We are lucky, says Lloyd. Chelsea are victims in this, mate. I'm not going in on Chelsea. I know some Chelsea fans are being quite rude and toxic. I don't really understand why, because it's the same when it happened to Liverpool and the onside goal. Spurs were the victim. It's not their fault that they've benefited from it. Chelsea haven't done the decision. It's the officials. Chelsea benefited from it. Of course you're going to take it, but they're the victim as much as anybody else, because then people look at Chelsea and go, scammers, this, that and the other. Chelsea didn't make the decision. The referee did. So refs, thank you very much for that. Fat Scotsman says Schmeichel's ripping the ref to shreds on New Zealand TV. I think anybody with a brain knows that's a goal for Fulham. There's nobody apart from the PGMOL. And strangely, they keep making decisions that only they would make. And that in itself is hilarious. So, you know, 99.999% of the footballing world think that's a goal. But unfortunately, the 0.00001% who have control are those lot. The minority rule the majority. In my opinion, Chelsea fan, but how is football skill a foul? Says Noel. I know, it's really weird. Gets called for a foul for shielding the ball. Absolute joke, says Baz. Prod says, PGML are gaslighting fans every week. They're pricks. Ben says, we were given that corner 15 seconds after the 8 added from a corner. How is that unfair? Your opinion seems biased because of earlier decisions against Fulham, says Ben. Well, no. Your first corner was probably 15 seconds after the 8. Your second corner was about 30 seconds after it. But look, the reality is, mate, you've added 8 minutes on top of a 45-minute half. You've already added 20% on top of the 45 minutes. And then you're still going to add another minute on it. He should be there blowing his fucking whistle. I'm not, to be honest with you, I said, I'm not going to sit here moaning about an extra minute on top of the 8. It's wrong, but I'm not going to be saying sack the PGML over that. That it's the goal. That's the one for me. I think the extra time on top of 8 minutes is just typically bad luck for Fulham on top of what's been, you know, daylight robbery. I think he should be blowing his whistle on the 8 minutes, regardless of whether it's a corner. It's ridiculously unlucky that for Fulham, but it's not the big problem, is it? Patrick says, so going forward, when defenders get turned, they can put their foot under the attackers to get a foul, says Patrick. Thank you very much for that. Steve Hansen, thank you very much for your super chat. He says the PGMO needs a full enema. Similar to when Rashford got a red in the Champions League, says James. You know what the sad thing is? If Chelsea get 3 points, it's a really good start to the season for them. 7 from 9, and that should be the story. They've beat, 3 London clubs. Not the easiest start of the season. They've got injuries to Cole Palmer and Liam Delap. And unfortunately, yet again, beyond the decision, what's the conversation? Referees. Even Chelsea fans will be defending the referee or feeling, maybe a bit confused. The conversation is the referee, isn't it? And I'm so fed up of it. I'm so fed up of it. Mark Bosnich on it, Aussie TV, going right off about the decision. Thank you very much to you for that as well. Marco Silva can't even talk to the referee. Players are coming out for the second half. As a United fan, my girlfriend being a Chelsea fan, she looked at me and said, I love the call by VAR, but she said we're blessed because it's not a foul, says Cody. Thank you to Redback Spider as well. Here comes the referee. He's actually ran out in a Chelsea shirt. Fair play, mate. Fair play for being on it. I don't like this referee. He'd batter the shit out of me, let's be honest. But I'd take the punch for the team to get him banned from football for life. I'd walk up to him and I'll tell you what, I'd tell you what, that's how much I love you lot. I would let him beat the shit out of me so he gets banned from refereeing. Because he would, let's be honest. I don't know how you're doing that, Enzo, but you're definitely getting blocked. See you later. Second half's up and running. I need to do the timer. I'm not a Fulham fan. I'm not a Chelsea fan. In fact, my dad supports Chelsea, so if anything, I'd want Chelsea to win, but I don't. And I just wonder if today's just a sign of what's to come for United. Right, with 30 seconds in here, let's be having you, Delia Smith. Would you? No. Absolutely not. 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Must be bad if Mike Dean is saying it's wrong, says Stevie J. Look, final point on it, because the game's back on. There's no doubt the player stands on Chalobah's foot. No doubt at all. Is it deliberate? No. Is it a challenge? No. Is it accidental? Yes. Therefore, it has to be a goal because you cannot give a reckless challenge for something that's not a challenge. He controls the ball and his standing foot goes down to the grass and stands on Chalobah. That's not a foul. That's not a challenge. In no way, shape or form. VAR, P. Jamal and TV have ruined the game, says Hacken. Aces says VAR gives too much scope for match fixing. I also think Curtis Seven made a great point. Why are they showing it in slow motion? I'll never understand that. I mean, if somebody can explain that to me, why do VAR people get shown things in slow-mo? I like boxing. Hold on, Fulham on the attack. I like boxing. When you watch a knockout punch in slow-mo, it looks devastating. When you watch it in real time, it still looks good, but it's not as devastating because it's not been slowed down. Why in football do we slow down challenges? I understand a penalty because you might want to see contact, but why do we slow down a challenge like that? It makes it look worse. I don't get it. Team news from Man United is coming out in 2 minutes, by the way. I will tell you that. Aces says VAR gives too much scope for match fixing. Any ref caught texting bets should face a set ban and third party should be present in the room. Mazraoui's back in the squad, says Alex. Thanks for all your super chats, by the way. I'm going to tell you the Man United team as it comes out. I'll tell you all the other teams for the 3 o'clocks as well. Will Mainu start? If he starts, I tell you what, I feel like there might be a meltdown in the chat here. Imagine if he starts Onana. You know, he's got to start Biinda. Hopefully Šeško. I think Mainu's a tough one. You just don't know. It's tough with him not... I don't know whether he will start Mainu because he's asked to leave. I don't know. Okay. He's on the bench, Mainu. Biinda in goal. Šeško on the bench. Fucking hell. I don't get that. You contrast it with what Arsenal have done with Gyökeres. Get him in the team, get him working. Šeško's not started a Premier League game yet. How's he going to build his sharpness and his confidence from the fucking bench? Oh, don't get it. So, Biinda... Hold on, Chelsea in the box here. Good play by Caicedo. Chalobah wants a handball. With this referee, I think that'll get given. They'll give this. He'll give this. I reckon he'll give this. Fulham's nightmare is going to be complete. He's going to give that. Incredible. I think he'll give this. I got no words. I'm going to ask the poll for this. Is that a penalty? Yes or no? That's not a foul on Iwobi. That's not a foul by Caicedo on Iwobi, so they can't give a foul for that. Penalty for Chelsea. I think this is going to be a penalty for Chelsea. VAR again. I don't know who's on VAR, by the way, Fulham, but it's definitely not Hugh Grant. His hand is up like that. I think he'll give it. I think he will give it. It's very, very unlucky for Fulham today. There's a handball by Pedro. I mean, it's more of a handball by Pedro than it is by Fulham. Again, he's at Stamford Bridge. He's going to give this. He's got to justify it, hasn't he? I mean, I don't know what you meant to do with your arm in that situation, by the way. And if you're going to give that, why is it not a handball by Pedro? He's going to give this. He's going to give this. I think he might. I think he's trying to. I think they're trying to find a way not to give this. I think they're going to go Pedro handball. I actually think they're trying to find a way not to give it. I think he's going to give it. I think he's going to give it. This guy's an absolute... He deserves a film, this guy. Is he going to give it? He's giving it. Yeah, he's giving it. Wow. 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 I said it was going to get given. I mean, I think there's enough get-outs there for the referee to not give it, and he's not took any of them. So it's absolutely disgusting. I just don't... I don't know what to say because it's been going on for so long, but this is a shambles. This game's absolutely ruined. This is not a game of football. It's a pantomime. It should be on at bloody Christmas, Theatre Royal. It's an absolute pantomime of a game. This is not football, people. We've spent more time watching referees and VAR than we have the game. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you whether this is a game of football. I don't know. What's happened in this game? Who's been on top? What good football have we seen? It's just pure and utter bullshit. I'd be embarrassed if I was Chelsea. I'd be embarrassed to be involved in a game like this. It's disgusting. It's just not watchable. I won't be watching the full game, by the way. So if you want to leave early, you can. I'll be gone in about 15 minutes. I'm not staying for the 90 minutes of this. I'm going to get a cup of tea and get ready for United. But my intention was to watch all of it. But fucking hell. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I mean, look, his hand's up. I knew it was going to get given, but it's ridiculously soft. What are you supposed to do with your hand, by the way? I don't know what you're supposed to do. How can you jump and put your back against the ball without having your hand in the air? Nobody can jump like that. You can't jump like that. How? I mean, look, I know where it hits him, and I know it's going to get given, but where's the brain on it? Like where's the brain that you literally can't jump? So, let me just show you this. If I jump, I can't jump like that in the air. I can't turn my bank and jump. I'll fall over. Your hand's part of balance. So when he goes to block it, he can't jump like that. He'll fall over like a bloody pencil. It's all part of balance. And also, you know what? In the interests of fairness, why would you go out your way to give Chelsea a penalty when you know you've robbed Fulham and you know at half-time everybody's saying you've robbed Fulham? Why would you come out? I know it's technically not right to do this, but you know you've fucked up at half-time. Why in the first 10 minutes, when you've got a chance not to give a penalty, would you give it? Why would you not go, you know what, I have fucked Fulham over. I won't give the penalty. There's enough get out for me. Because he's a narcissist. He's got no concept that he's robbed Fulham. He's got no concept that he could equal the game out a little bit. He's gone, fuck it. You know what? I'm a narcissist. I'm right. I'm going to keep making decisions. And that, to me, is another argument as to why the PGMOL are a disgrace. Because he will know at half-time that that decision is wrong. And he will know that that penalty, all right, you can give it, but you don't have to. And a fair referee would go, you know what, in the circumstances of the whole game, I've messed up in the first half. There's a way out for this penalty. I'm not going to give it. And in my mind, I've levelled things up. No, I'm going to give the penalty. Madness. Anyway, it's 2-0 to Chelsea. Where's the score? Where's the score? Oh, I tell you what, I hope United get a lot. I tell you what, I hope Man United can get a game like this at home. Because Chelsea have barely had to do anything. Esteban with a good shot. David Murphy says his arm's not up for balance. David, I would love to get you on That's Football this week. It's the international break. We'll book the pitch. We'll get David round, and you can tell us how you jump like Sessegnon without putting your arm in the air. I would love to see you jump without putting your arm up and fall flat on your face. There is no way you can jump in any other way than your arm going up. At all. And also, why is it not a handball by João Pedro? Why is it not a handball by João Pedro? He sticks his arm out to block the shot, to block the clearance. Fulham have cleared the ball and he blocks the clearance. Why is it not a handball? Fulham have cleared the ball. He could have given a foul on a... I don't think it was a foul on a Waby. I'm not going to say that. More appearances for Dermot Gallagher, says Tanishk. Dominic says you wouldn't complain if it was United. Oh, for fuck's sake, Dominic. How thick are you? Of course I wouldn't complain if I was a Chelsea fan. We've literally spoken about that at half-time. We've spoken about it all along. Chelsea are a victim as well. Of course you're not going to complain about it as a Chelsea fan. Does it mean that the PGMOL are right? No. Even if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be going, lovely stuff, but we fucking got away with it here, but it's not our fault. You can't blame us. I literally just said, I hope United get these decisions later. Lovely jubbly, it's Christmas. I'm absolutely over the moon if I'm a Chelsea fan, but you also know, you know, I'm not asking you to give the 2 goals back. Fuck no, take the points, get out of Dodge, but that's not an argument, is it? You know, shit footballing decisions is not an argument for like, oh, well, that's okay. Biender's been picked, says, yeah, Marcus, thank you. I was going through the United side, wasn't I? So Biender in goal, Delo, Delit, Yoro, Shaw, and Ahmad at left back. Midfield of Casemiro and Bruno, and then a front 3 of Mount, Mbeumo and Cunha. Dorgu's dropped to the bench. Mazraoui's back. Heaven, Maguire, Mainu, Agate, Sheshko and Xerxes. I mean, I don't know why Delo's playing at left wing back again. I mean, look, Man United just need to win today, but it has got an element of I'm picking people I can trust. Delo at left wing back is just weird in my mind. Sesko's on the bench, yeah. Great keeping by Leno there. João Pedro through one-on-one. Just had a message from Ben Foster saying, I hope you're going fucking mad on your stream about this game, Mark. VAR has royally fucked football. There you go. We need to get him on. If Pedro's handball led to a goal, would they have disallowed it? Shocking decision, says Stephen. It's not the ref. He didn't give either decision. The office did. Disgrace, says Matt. Yeah, but you can overrule it. What's wrong with English referees, says Ewan. You don't see this in the rest of Europe. I know. Well, we've literally watched... We've literally just watched 2 Bundesliga games in the last 2 weeks, and you just don't get officiating like this. I don't know what it's like in the Italian league, the French league, the Spanish league, but why no Sesko and Dorgu, says Emperor. I'll be on the United stand at 2:30. Countdown to kickoff's already up there if you want to go and talk about United. Bubba says, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but that's a Stonewall penalty. Why is it not a handball by Pedro then? Anthony Jury's not happy with the United lineup, says it's disgusting. Game's ruined, says Galahad. Genuinely needs investigating. Ezzy goal first game. Ekatike should have been through now. 2 horrible decisions in this game, says Crispy Lad. Sack says we should praise the referee for getting it right. No, thanks. Jack Hammer says, I'm a Chelsea fan. I just want to watch football, not the VAR show. I mean, that's a great point as well. The actual game's been shit because it's been so stop-start. I tell you what, we watched St. Pauli against Hamburg last night on this channel. The first half went like that. I mean, it was 45 minutes, the same as this, but it went like that because it flowed, and you don't notice the time. It's like watching a shit film, and you're like, God, I've only been here for 20 minutes. When you watch a good film, it's like, fucking hell, it's flown by, and that's the same with football as well. 45 minutes last night went like that. You don't get that in the Prem anymore because it's too stop-start. Chelsea fans behind VAR smirking because they know, says Tom B. 8 changes for United confirmed, says Neil. Matteo says, I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm disgusted. The game's gone. Well, look, I think for Chelsea, you probably would be disgusted because, you know, you're trying to win a league. You're trying to win a Champions League and you want to win games playing good football in a way where you've deserved it. And I'm not saying you haven't deserved it. As a United fan, I'd take this 2-0 every day of the week because we're desperate for points. But as a spectacle, it's just a bit, you know, whatever. What are some of the other differences between the Bundesliga, says Super Donut? I think the game is played at a very similar pace. It's better because there's less stop-start. The crowds are absolutely incredible. And there's some really good talents in there, as we've seen by the number that are being brought in by the Premier League now. Turn off, tune out, let's TV station wonder why, VAR, says Peter. People won't switch off, though, will they? But we're addicted to the Premier League, let's be honest, because we support the teams. So, thoughts on Sesko not starting, says Jace. I'll be talking about it at 2:30 on United Stand. Do you think the PGMOL have purposely made the game more stop-start to make the Premier League more appealing to the US? The NFL and NBA stops every 30 seconds, so they might like more drama and less action. Also, you get more adverts in, Tom. Chaffee says, I've DM'd you. What on? Joe Gold just said this is a bad advert for football and where the game is going. The commentators are fuming, says Prod. Well, that's good. That is really good because I think for too long, the mainstream have sat by silently and said nothing. And I think if that has happened and it is happening in other broadcasters, that's the step we need. Obviously, what we're doing is growing and there's, this is new media in a sense, but the old media needs to join in. And I'm encouraged that, New Zealand broadcasters, US broadcasters, hopefully TNT are calling it out because that's how we'll get change. Like, they have to call it out. They can't just sit by silently now and be bitches to the PGMOL. As I said, there's a fortnightly meeting between the broadcasters and the PGMOL. And they're all in it together. Until, TNT pay a lot of money. Sky pay a lot of money. Why would you sit back and help the PGMOL out? You're paying millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds and people are watching it going, I hate this. I don't like this. If I was Sky and I was TNT, I'd be in that meeting saying, sort yourselves out. I'm going to the Premier League. I'm going to your bosses. Sort yourselves out. We pay a lot of money for this and all we're seeing is fucking VAR and referees. We want to see excitement. We want to see action. We want to see the games flowing. So they need to call it out, 100%. If I was paying for those rights, I'd be there first thing on Monday morning speaking to Richard Masters at the Premier League saying, what the fuck's going on with this league? This can't carry on. Paul Maguire thinks the game is corrupt. Alex says, do you think Man United are playing a back four, three-man midfield? Don't know, we'll see. FDC makes a good point. It's not VAR that needs turning off, it's the referees, they're shit. Why are we blaming the stove for burning the food? Blame the cook, says FDC. Oh, God. I need that stretch. I'll tell you what, I'm really glad I'm not doing a match reaction for this. Really glad. Because I wouldn't have anything to talk about other than the VAR. I mean, Chelsea have been good since it's gone 2-0, but I think that's psychological, isn't it? They know the game's won, they can relax. Fulham know the game's lost, they've got to defend. It's changed the game completely, getting that second goal. But to be honest, I'd struggle to do a match reaction to this, really, without talking about something I don't want to talk about. If he handballs it like that, turns, shoots, and scored, would that be disallowed, no goal? And I'm a Chelsea fan. Game is gone, says Joshua King. Thank you very much, Joshua, for your honesty. Are you concerned that Šeško is another classic Bundesliga signing that can't compete in the Prem? Well, he hasn't started a Premier League game, mate. I presume it's Man United's fitness department going, computer says no. But it's funny that Arsenal's fitness department says computer says yes. I mean, we're playing against Burnley, right? Who are going to defend. I would be using a 6'4" striker. We're going to use Cunha or Mount. Hopefully it will work, but it's not the solution. He's got to get in the team at some... I don't know about you, whether you're Chelsea, Fulham, Man United, Arsenal. I don't like watching a team that's not the team. Like, at some point, Šeško is going to have to start, isn't he? And it just feels like, again, Man United are treating it like pre-season. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Scottish Football Watchalong says type. What's your refereeing like? Jay says the United starting 11 scares me, fingers crossed. Just got a win today. Is there any chance that Amram could be playing a back four? Well, we'll find out, James. Nearly another goal for Chelsea from a free kick there. Amram off the pitch work has been brilliant with the players out, but his on-pitch management is confusing, says Daniel Shabar. Thank you very much. Who do you think deserved to win the game? I might sound very controversial here, but Chelsea deserved to win the game because I have no evidence that Fulham deserved to win the game. So Chelsea deserved to win the game in the weird, fucked up game we've seen. I personally think if Fulham had scored that goal, Chelsea might have responded and woken from their slumber, and we might have got a good game. I said that at the time. Fulham score so early that Chelsea have to react, and we probably get a good game of football. It's going to be a good 3 points for Chelsea, and it's going to be a good start to the season. I feel bad for Fulham, but if they can take any solace, it will be someone else next week. But we haven't really seen a game. Šeško not starting is an Amram choice, says Robert. Well, of course it is. He's the manager. But I think there will be fitness elements to it as well. I'll be keeping an eye on the Bundesliga, yes, because there's a lot of half-2 kickoffs. So I'm live on the United Stand at half-2, so I will be keeping an eye on those as well as the Premier League games. There are a few 3 p.m. games today, as you know. Starting Man United Burnley will be live for that. Sunderland Brentford, Tottenham Bournemouth, and Wolves Everton. Leeds Newcastle complete the Premier League roster today. With regards to the Bundesliga, I'll be very interested to see why have I got a load of shit Bracknell against Dartford games. Bremen Leverkusen at half 2 and Hoffenheim Frankfurt at half 2 and Leipzig Heidenheim at half 2. They're 3 teams to keep an eye on, especially Frankfurt. Have you watched Gladbach yet? Says Alfie. No, I know they drew with Hamburg on the opening day, which I don't know. Opening day, innit? Opening day. Refs playing as a false ref, says Dr. Johnny. I'm a bit disappointed that Dorgu's not playing for United. I've actually quite liked him. Spurs team against Bournemouth: Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Spence, Sarr, Palhinha, Bentancur, Kudus, Richarlison and Johnson. So I think that's the starting team from Manchester City, to be fair. BBC have got it as Yoro, Delit, Shaw, and then Delo and Diallo, Ahmad as the wing-backs, Casemiro, Bruno, and Mbeumo, Mount and Cunha as the 10. Why is Delo starting over? It's a good point, Ardy. I don't know. He's picking. This is what worries me a little bit, because I remember Ollie doing this. I remember Ten Hag doing this. Things start to go wrong, and you start picking your trusted players. So I look at that United side and I go, why is Dorgu not starting over Delo? But the manager's probably doing it because he trusts Delo in a time of trouble. I think Dorgu's better than Delo. If Burnley wins, my day's ruined. Basically. I just want a little bit of positivity. Anthony Robinson's come on for Fulham. I tell you what, nothing against Chelsea. It's not your fault. This is not Chelsea's fault. I think you're a victim as much as everybody else in this. Not as big a victim as Fulham because they've been robbed, but you've not done the refereeing. It's not your fault, and you know you're going to get the win. But as a game of football, I'm live at 3:30. I could go and have a quick cup of tea and have a chat with my family instead of having a quick turnaround. And I'm very tempted to do that because I've totally switched off from this game. And I don't want to disrespect any of the chat, and I don't want to disrespect... It's not because I've got an issue with Chelsea winning at all. It's just a protest against what has been a disgusting game of football from an officialing point of view. So I have ended a watch-along before when it was, funnily enough, Chelsea-Arsenal. I stopped it in the final and said Chelsea had been absolutely done over by Anthony Taylor, and I switched it off after 70 minutes. So there's your Chelsea hater. I have ended a watch-along before, basically because a referee ruined the FA Cup final for Chelsea. So this is not. I'm not being anti-Chelsea here. I've just completely and utterly switched off. And I think if I had your permission, I probably would go and get the cup of tea. Maybe we should run a poll. I've done it. Can I end early and go and get a cup of tea? I'll put it to the chat. I'm back live in 15 minutes on the United stand. Robert McCormack says, spot on. It's the players he trusts in, a must win. I think Dorgo has a knock. Came off at half time, says Jit. Do you think Yamal is the best young talent ever, says Pi? Well, I was talking about this yesterday. Talking about this with Seb this morning, actually, because he loves Yamal. I was like, who will be the #1 ranked player on EAFC this year? Because it always used to be Ronaldo or Messi. So who will be #1 player on EAFC 26 rating this year? Who do you think? 80% of you said I can end early. Look, I just don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody, that's all. You know, it's an amazing community. I always try to include everybody in it. And I just want to say, you know, it's no disrespect to either club or any of you. I just think this game ended a long time ago, and I think it's a terrible advert for football, and I don't intend to be clipped or anything like that. We're not doing it for dramatic effect. I am actually live for the United game in 15 minutes, but this is a statement of a game being ruined in the Premier League by the PGMOL, and I'm out. I'll speak to you in a bit.